بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Say, whether you hide what is in your hearts or disclose it, Allah knows it. And He knows whatever there is in the heavens and whatever there is in the earth. And Allah has power over all things. Now this verse is somehow related to the previous verse which talked about taqiyya. It is saying that it doesn't matter if you have to say something, you have to declare something which is not in your heart, because Allah knows what is in your heart. Whether you say something or you hide it, of course Allah is aware of it. So it is a sort of reassurance for those who were forced to do taqiyya. It's also a warning for those munafiqun and hypocrites who were doing the opposite. They were declaring faith, they were pretending faith, but were disclosing in their hearts disbelief and kufr. And of course, Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. He has power over everything, in the sense that He can punish those who disclose disbelief and pretend faith, and has power to reward those who has to pretend disbelief and hide their faith in their hearts. Then the following verse, the day when every soul will find present whatever good it has done and whatever evil. And as to whatever evil it has done, it will wish there were a far distance between it and itself. Allah warns you to beware of disobeying Him. Allah is actually repeating this, that we have this in two verses before. And Allah is most kind to His servants. This verse has a bit of controversial issue regarding the finding whatever good or evil people have done. First of all, we have other verses in the Qur'an which talks in the same vein. Here it says, the day when every soul will find presence. Muhdara. Well, it doesn't say hadira. Hadira is present. Muhdar means presented. It means that it was somewhere and it has been presented to them now. In Surah Takwir, alimat nafsun ma ahdarat. Every soul knows what have they presented, what they have brought together for themselves. So we have similar verses. Now, what's the meaning of this? تَجِدُ كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا عَمِلَتْ. Whatever every soul has done, it will find it there. How this action, which was a sort of combination of different accidents, could be presented there again. They have vanished, they have gone. I mean, when you say a lie, for example, you have said it and it's gone. So how will you find it present? Is that possible? That is why Sheikh Muqniya says in his Tafsir al-Kashif, he says that it means they see the reward or punishment of that action. Let's see what Sheikh Tusi says in At-Tibyan. He says that the meaning may be two things. One is jaza'u amala min al-thawab wal-iqab. They see the reward or punishment of that amal. The second is they find the explanation or the interpretation of their a'mal as it's written in the book of records, whether good or evil. And then he says that this is, of course, true for both groups, for those who are good and those who are evil. The good ones see only their hasanat, not the sayyat. And the evil ones see only their sayyat and not hasanat. And then it says there is a possibility that the good ones also see their ma'asiyah, but of course is forgiven. Allama Tabatabai in Al-Mizan, in agreement with many other famous Mufassirun like Faiz Kashani and some others, they say that this actually implies the tajassum of amal. The amal will be embodied in something which is in line with that world, could be presented in that world. This is how the amal works. It's not the amal itself that you will see. For example, you have lied, or you have killed someone, or you have done something very good, you have helped some person fulfill their needs. It's not that amal itself, like, for example, the turning of the tongue when you are lying, or the money you just give to someone when you are helping them. That finds a different form. And that form is preserved in barzakh in one way, and when the day of judgment comes, it is presented in a different way. So in every realm, for example, in this realm, that action is presented or is embodied in a sort of evil in our heart or in a sort of good in our heart. That's the embodiment of that action, not the action itself, that the action we do it and it's gone. When we go to barzakh, that action finds an embodiment, finds an independent existence. And that's, of course, a form different from the form that it was performed. And then when we go to the day of judgment, it finds a different form. You find it there. You find one who lies finds that lie there, but in a different form. Find recitation of the Qur'an in different form. That's why we have, for example, al-Qur'an shafi'un mushaffa'. Qur'an is an intercessor that intercedes, and its intercession is acceptable. It's, of course, in a different form. And when we go to hell and paradise, inshallah, we don't go to hell, of course, I'm talking generally. When people go to hell and paradise, they find that action in a different form. It's all those actions. It's the actions which are given back to us in their forms. So it's not that a'raz or accidents which are presented there again, brought back. No, the form that it creates, first of all in our heart, in our soul, and secondly when it finds an independent existence which is given to us. That's why some people say the paradise of everyone are themselves, and the hell of everyone are themselves, what they have acquired. So this is the meaning which some later commentators have. Now here we have a hadith which actually supports it. Qais ibn Malik was a Bedouin, a very generous man, famous for his generosity, for his forbearance, and he was a companion of the Prophet in the sense that he met Prophet once, if we call this a companion, because he was living far away with his tribe. Once they came to the Prophet with his tribe, first of all to declare their submission to Islam, and secondly to see the Prophet and learn from him. When they arrived, this Qais said, "Ya Rasulullah, give us an admonishment so that we take it as a souvenir from Medina to our people." Something like this. Of course, I'm just explaining what he said. The Prophet said, "Know that, O Qais, know that you have no choice except to be buried with a companion who's alive while you are dead." It means that when we die, a companion is buried with us. We are dead, but that companion is alive. If the companion is noble, then he will honor you, ennoble you. But if he is of evil character, then he will overpower you. He will submit you to evil. Then he will only be resurrected with you, and you will only come forth with him. So he is with you in your grave, in Barzakh. When you are resurrected, he is resurrected with you. It means that he is firmly joined with you. He will only be resurrected with you, and you will only come forth with him. You will not be questioned except about him. That companion. You will not be questioned about anything other than him. Therefore, do not allow your companion to be anything but good, so that you may form a close bond with him. Because if he is evil, you will not be repulsed by anything more than by him. You will not be afraid of anything but him. This is what it says. وَإِنْ فَسَدَ, if he is corrupt, لَا تَسْتَوْحِشُ إِلَّا مِنْهُ. You are not frightened, you are not be afraid of anything but him. It means the reward and punishment is in that action. And at the end, he says, وَهُوَ فِعْلُكَ, this is your action. So the one which is buried with us is our action. So we see that in the world of Barzakh. And when we are resurrected, we see that on the day of judgment. And when we go to paradise, that is what is given to us. And when we go to hell, that's what it will be given to us. So this is the meaning of يَوْمَ تَجِدُ. So we have three opinions here. At the end, we have something which initially doesn't seem to go with يُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ, because it says وَاللَّهُ رَعُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. Allah is kind to the servants. What is the source of suitability of he warns you of disobeying him, and he's kind? Because when we talk about Allah being kind, it means that he forgives everything. Don't worry, don't be afraid of him. And here it says يُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ وَاللَّهُ رَعُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. Allah is kind. Now, Sheikh Tusi here gives a very reasonable answer. He says that it is because of his Ra'af. Ra'af means Rahmah. So it's because of his kindness that he's warning you. He could have just left you, neglected you. Because he loves you, because he's kind to you, he's warning you about the consequences that you are going to meet, that your actions are going to be given back to you. It's just like a very kind father who's warning his children about consequences of the mistakes that they may do in the society. So it's very clear. Wallahu ra'ufun bil ibad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin